Hi, everybody. I'm Johanna, and I am an intuitive artist, a master energy healer, and a metaphysical mentor. And what all that means is basically I'm super, super clairvoyant. I have been working on my clairvoyance probably since I was born, but it wasn't until I was about 22 and I had a car accident and I was having a lot of pain in my neck. The traditional doctors were giving me massage therapy and all these other things, and it wasn't reducing the pain. So I went to this Reiki master who happened also to be an artist, and I realized she said, "Oh, your third and fourth vertebrae are out." And I was like, "How do you know that?" I had an x-ray to prove it, but I had no idea. She said, "Oh, I can see these things." I was immediately hooked. I was like, "Wow, you can see that inside of my body and where it's out of alignment." I then became a Reiki master. So that was about 23 years ago. Lots of people say that I don't because old enough for that, but my children are 24 and 25, so I guess I just have young skin. But so I went on to become a Reiki master, and then in 2001 I started teaching Reiki, and I was super, super intrigued. I was an artist. I wanted to be able to share with my students what I saw and how they could connect with energy and realize the language of color was actually going to give them information about their clients. So I got out, this is not the original, but it's something similar, to a figure, and then I got my coloring pencils out and started putting color to paper, and that's how I started teaching Reiki and energy healing. So from there, I continued teaching and sharing, and the energy drawings became a thing, and now that's what I do. So I draw people's energy. I can see all kinds of information about your soul color, your purpose, your healing abilities, your intuitive abilities, even illnesses, ailments that you're suffering from and where they stem from, and help you align to your energy so that you can help heal yourself. So here's an example of a client. Most of my clients I never meet before. I just get their name. You are matched to your name vibrationally. And I go and check in on what's going on. And this particular client had a lot of energy around the hands. And you can see inside the body, there's a lot of dark blue energy. And so that told me that perhaps they were having some nerve issues. And I asked the client, I'd never met them before, and they said, "Do you have fibromyalgia?" And she said, "Yes, how do you know that?" And I was like, "Well, it's on the drawing." So I told her that perhaps that a great color prescription, which I give out to all my clients, was to eat the color green, to surround herself with green, because that would cool down her energy field and help her heal. So since then, she's been doing really well. And gosh, I've got so many different samples. So your soul color, for those of you who are just joining me, there's 3 primary soul colors that I see. There's the yellows, there's the reds, and we have a blue sample here. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what the soul colors mean and give you some insights as to how I see the world. The blues are all about wisdom. Blue is representative of water. It can flow, it can be gaseous, it can be ice. It's very much a personality type that is all about sharing their wisdom with the world and their insights, and they're very data orientated, and they don't trust their intuition as much. So if you're a blue soul, you're very much if you're in alignment, you're sharing your wisdom, you're being a blessing on the world with all your insights and your knowledge. If you're out of alignment, you're not going to trust your intuition. You're going to get all this information. You're going to want more data. You're going to read more. You're going to learn more. But until you really go into that wisdom and align yourself with wisdom, you're going to have a hard time. So if you're a blue soul, then definitely trust your intuition. Maybe take some classes to open up your intuitive abilities. I think that, a blue soul with sharing their wisdom, when you're aligned to your purpose, it's phenomenal. As some of you may know, I have been out of my purpose for a lot of my life, and now I get to realign with my purpose, and I'm super excited. Okay, so a red soul, a red personality type is me. Somebody who is really, it's super, super important for you to share your love in the world. That's your gift to the world. It's to share your love, and you can do that by teaching and sharing and creating your art and loving on people. And if you're not sharing that love, you'll get drowned and out of alignment. So I often think of a red personality type as somebody, it's similar to blood. Blood pumps through the body. It does a phenomenal job. It's constantly leading. It's constantly organizing. It's constantly putting things into order and communicating within the body. However, if blood goes outside of the body, it dies. And so it's similar to a red personality, a red soul, that you would want to be able to put everything back into its container. And a red often needs safety. So if you know of somebody who has a red soul, their trigger word is safe. You are safe. Because a red out of alignment is typically called a control freak. I know that because I can be that too. It's similar to blood, right? So if somebody else is bleeding, a lover wants to go out and go love on people, and that can be considered sometimes over loving or called a fixer. So a red soul is all about loving on yourself and learning about love. That's your soul's purpose, is to learn about love and then teach about it and share out in the world. And then there's the yellows, and we have beautiful Jasmine, who is a yellow. This is not her drawing. I haven't finished it yet, but her soul is about yellow, and a yellow in alignment is very much about bring joy to the world. And as you all know, Jasmine is like, yay! Lots and lots of joy and celebratory. She's the perfect optimist, and she's the perfect person to be a LOA specialist. I mean, like, law of attraction, how positive, have a positive leader to be able to guide you. So a yellow soul is all about bringing joy to other people's lives, bring joy to themselves, learning about joy. If a yellow soul is out of alignment, they can't shine their light on things, right? Yellow is all about sunlight and bringing that beautiful experience to the world. And so if a yellow soul is out of alignment, they often become totally sarcastic and not optimistic. They become depressed and kind of sad. So they're not, that's kind of the personality type of a yellow. So with that, there's so many other things about the joys. And yes, I will, if you look at the thread, add your soul color, please, in the comments below, and I'll come back. I get a little bit bombarded with so many people simultaneously asking because there's like a flood of colors. So it's easier for me to just take some quiet time and I'll answer you later. But if there are any questions about the drawings, there's so many different symbols that are represented in the drawings. There's all the chakras. It's so funny for me to point that out, but that you get all kinds of information about your body. If you're out of alignment in a certain chakra, then I'll give you a color prescription. So, for example, I'll have somebody whom this particular client, you can see there's a mark on the sacral area, and that told me that that person's liver was out, and that I got the download and the information that perhaps they should take milk thistle. That was apparently the third time this particular client had been told that this week. So it was like somebody's trying to tell her a message. So if you're sacral, your second chakra, just you can see this orange right here. If that one is out of alignment, which a lot of people have it out of alignment right now, each chakra is related to the endocrine system. So there's the root chakra, which is related to your gonads. The sacral, which is your second chakra, is orange and it's related to your adrenals. The solar plexus is related to, it's yellow and it's related to your pancreas. The heart, of course, is connected to your heart and your thalamus gland. The throat is around your thyroid and communication, light blue. The third eye, which is indigo, and that's connected to your pineal gland and gives you an insight and information. And then, of course, you've got your crown chakra, which is all related to your to your spirituality and your ability to communicate with spirit. So there are so many different things that I can see, and I do both personal drawings and then also business drawings. And I also work with clients who are specifically interested in opening up their gifts. I have the ability to be able to see through your eyes, so I can tap into your particular intuitive gift and then kind of guide you. And so I work one-on-one with clients over a long period of time. And so you can see how the drawings progress. Now, you have your soul color, and this was the original of one particular client. You can see she's very light color, which is actually a positive. We're all trying to reach for enlightenment. We're all trying to reach for, a lot of love in our life, which is white light, which is the encompassment of all colors. But she was going through, she wanted to ground her business. She really wanted to have some grounding in what she was doing. So we worked with her energy and we put some blue in there. Later on, some issues came up, so we worked on those. There were some old wounds and belief systems. That was about 3 months later. And then you can see the drawing completely shifted. There was so much insight and so much alignment with her business, and she definitely she fell in love with what she was doing. She got totally in alignment with where she was at. That is a sample of a client that was working on her business. Like I said earlier, this is a sample of a client who was having issues with her physical ailments. It depends on what the message is that comes through when I'm working with a client. So obviously it's kind of like a tarot reading or an astrology reading. The most important message that needs to come through will come through. There's different symbols on the hands that tell me kind of around what your soul purpose is. This particular client, I said, because it's light blue, it's all about communication. It was a large symbol that represented a large impact, and then there was pink in the middle, which was romance. And so I had told her, I said, your soul's purpose is very much in alignment with sharing and writing about romance. And I'd never met this client before, and she said, "Oh, I'm a romantic novelist." And so it was great validation that she was to get her books out. And of course, I actually just started reading one of them today. So I'm super excited about her aligning with her soul's purpose, because once you align with your soul's purpose, everything starts flowing. You get so much more support. You have a much more aligned day, much more flow. People come and support you and love on you. There's so much benefit. This particular client, she was having issues with grounding herself and feeling stable with what she was doing in the world. She got an activation, which is a healing wand, and then she was also told the message was that she was supposed to be doing in-house retreats. There's so much about your energy field that is contained in your spiritual body, your mental body, your emotional body, and your physical body. All these bodies contain information. It's all light. This is the magic of who we are. And just like in caveman days when we didn't have the tools to have a mirror to look at ourselves, now we still don't have the exact tools. We have Clairvoyant photography that proves that we have an energetic field, but we're still relying on people like me and clairvoyants to be able to see energy and interpret energy. And of course, I do that through the language of color. Thank you so much for all the beautiful comments. There's so many lovely people here. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer any of them as we go through. And thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to continue talking because there's so many different symbols. So there's these symbols, and these symbols tell me the person has the ability to go travel into different dimensions and bring back information. Then this client, I saw a book. I was like, "You're writing a book?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm writing a book." The colors then tell me what the book is about. The book is about blue and purple and pink. So for me, when I see blue, it's about communication. Purple's about spirituality, and then pink's about romantic love. So she was definitely writing her book, and I'm super excited to read it. There's these beautiful images of soul children, like indigo children and crystalline children, and I was just talking to another clairvoyant, and I said, "Well, how do you know that they're indigo children or star children?" And she said, "Well, they just have glistening energy." And they do. There's something about the children and how they show up in the world and their energy. This particular little child has some issues with ADHD, and you can see because there's all this blue around the field. And so I gave the mom some tips on what to do. And then, of course, you can see this little star child. See how the hearts show up? There's just this really beautiful energy. It's really difficult to describe it in the drawing. But when you tap into it and experience that energy, it's so magical. So beautiful. Gosh, there's other clients that are having issues, maybe with old wounds that need to be healed, that need to be reconfigured. You can also see the clairaudient ability here is kind of being a little bit explosive. They might be experiencing a lot of ringing in their ears. They might have some problem trying to distinguish what the messages are. There's even a symbol with money on it. Look, and orange is about creativity. So this person is creating money in their world. And actually, I just got a message from this particular client yesterday, and she said she's a published author right now, and she just got it on Amazon. So I'm super excited about that transformation. There's so many different things. So all the different colors mean things. There's blues about communication and opening up your voice. There's dark blue, which is about indigo, which being able to see and have that wisdom. The crown's about spirituality. The heart's all about love and loving on people and healing people. There's also different colors in the hands. We have hand mudras, or chakras, and so a blue hand would represent somebody who's their soul purpose is very much about being able to communicate with people. And if they're not or is mostly likely a teacher, they're not teaching, they'll feel really out of alignment. They'll feel depressed and sad and unhappy. Then there's the others who have orange in their hands. These orange chakras tell me that this person is a healer, an artist, or a massage therapist. And there's even green, or I think that's blue actually. Again, she's a communicator. She is the one that's writing those romantic novels. We have pink in their hands. They're lovers. They love on people. That's what they're here to do. And then look at this lady. She's got all that money in her field. And she's all about green and healing. You can see in the hands right there. So, okay. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate everybody. Yes, there's no black souls. If there's no other questions, I just wanted to say hi and thank you so much, Jasmine, for having me. Remember that part of her magical law of attraction new class is coming up next week. Remember that I'm a bonus. So I don't usually do the energy drawings for a half hour anymore. I usually do an hour long. But Jasmine and I worked together and created this magical offering where if you sign up for her class, then you'll get me for half an hour and you'll get an energy drawing and all kinds of insights about where you're going, what you're doing, what is the picture of your energetic field right now, what is your soul's purpose, how to align to that more appropriately, how to realign all your chakras and help you just get into the flow of life again. There's so much peace and so much bliss about being in that soul's purpose. It's amazing. So thank you so much. And yeah, I just saw that Jasmine put the link in there for everybody to sign up. So I'm super excited about being able to participate and draw your energy. I'm going to come back later and I'll keep the thread open for about 24 hours where anybody who sees this as my replay, then you can get your soul color, and there's a website link I'll add where you can go read what exactly the soul colors are. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for all being here. I'm so grateful. And again, thank you. And I hope and wish that you have a blessed day.